Good morning, everybody. Anybody out there? I'll just wait to see. Excellent. Hello, Naveen. So today we're going to do yoga using a chair or an exercise ball, whatever you have. Hello, Pat and Jim. I have my husband in the hallway doing it on a chair, so he might peek his head in the doorway just to see what we're doing, because he got a little confused the other day. He doesn't want to be on the camera, but if he gets confused, he's going to pop his cute little head in here and try to figure out what we're doing. So I'm going to show everything on the ball, but give you the options to do everything on the chair. So we're going to start seated. If you do not have a yoga block, I do have extra at my house. So for the next couple weeks, if anybody wants to borrow one, please let me know and I'll leave it out on my driveway and you can pick one up to borrow. So let me know about that because I only need really 3 at my house. So I have a bag full of about 4 or 5 other ones. If you don't have a block, I'd like you to have at least a stack of books to use because we are going to come down to where you want to put your hand on the floor. So if you can't reach the floor from a bent position on your chair or the ball, I'd like you to have a block to be able to do that, or a set of books, something to be able to rest your hand on. So that's why I have that there. So go ahead and grab that while we're getting ready. So just a nice comfortable seated position, your feet wherever you'd like them to be. If you're seated on the ball, just remember that the wider your feet are, the easier it is to balance on the ball. And the closer your feet are together, the harder it is to balance. So pick something that feels good. Your palms are up. In the villages, the sun is not shining because the clouds are out, but the sun is up, so your palms are up. And I know some of you do yoga with me in the evenings because your days are so busy, or you sleeping in or whatever. So every time the sun is set, your palms are always down when we start. When the sun is up, your palms are up. So let's just shut your eyes. Maybe take your feet wider if they're together, just to try to relax to start. Nice and tall, pushing your hips down into whatever you're seated on. Your shoulders relaxed. Your shoulders down away from your ears. And when you try to make your spine long, you try to think about lifting up through the crown of your head, not lifting your chin. So you have a little nod at your chin, and you imagine that there's a string right at the crown of your head lifting you straight up, but somebody's grabbing your hips and trying to keep you down onto the ground, the ball, or the floor, or the chair. Taking the deepest inhale you can in through your nose, the biggest, deepest exhale you can, getting rid of all of your breath, pulling that belly button in towards your spine. Try to feel yourself growing taller on your inhale. Trying to feel your muscles relax on your exhale. quieting your mind, getting rid of all those outside thoughts and distractions. But trying to remember that it's totally normal for your mind not to be able to keep on your breath for the full hour or 50 minutes, whatever we're going to go today. So your job really is to just notice when your mind wanders away and bring it back to your breath. It could happen 100 different times. Perfectly fine, perfectly normal. We never ever beat yourself up for letting your mind wander away. Just bring it right back to your breath. Let's turn your palms down on your thighs. Tip your head over to one side. Inhale your head back to center and then over to the opposite side. So just side to side. And if you're sitting on that ball, I'd like you to try not to let the ball move. You're just moving your head. So whether you're on the chair or the ball, you're pushing those hips down into the chair or ball, rising up through your spine, opening up your chest, just tipping your head right and left. Let's let that head stay over to the right. Bring your right hand down at your side, your left hand down at your side. Pull your shoulder blades up, back, and down. And then take your right hand and place it on your head. And breathe. And please remember that I'm just a guide, so if anything doesn't feel right, if you want to stay in one position a little bit longer, please feel free to do what you need to do today. Take one more breath here. Bring that right hand down at your side. Take your chin down to your right shoulder. Take the left hand behind your back, bending your elbow, putting your forearm at your low back, seeing if you can sit up just a little bit taller, maybe tilting your pelvis a little bit forward, breathing a slight little back bend as you push the left shoulder back, chin to your right shoulder. Let's slowly come out of that. Fingers on your shoulders, elbows up, back, and down. So elbows go up. Exhale them down. One more time. Inhale up and down, and then hands come back to your side. Tip your head over to the left. If you'd like, left hand on your head, right shoulder down, right arm bends back behind you, forearm at your low back. Open up that chest. Imagine somebody has a string at your belly button, pulling you forward, but there's somebody holding your shoulders and pulling you back slightly. Then take that left hand down and just take your chin down to your left shoulder. Keep that arm back behind you. Breathe. One more breath. come back to center, fingers on your shoulders, elbows up, back, and down again. And then if you want to put your feet a little bit closer together, no matter what you're sitting on. So try to touch your feet, try to touch your inner thighs, your shins. So core nice and tight. You're going to inhale your arms up. Interlace your fingers, point your pointer finger up, and just lean over to the right. Inhale back to center, and exhale to the left. So on this ball, it's very difficult for me to keep my feet together and lean very far, right or left. Perfectly fine for you to be moving the ball with your hips. So I'm going to take my feet just a little bit wider. Inhale to center, and exhale as you go to one side. Try to keep those arms at your ears. And when you get over, or let's say when you get back to center, your right arm is going to go down, and you're just going to lean over to that right and stay there. So maybe now you need to take your feet a little bit wider so you can get a little deeper stretch. You can look up, holding onto that chair or the ball with your right hand. Looking down or up or forward. When you're ready for an inhale breath, you come back to center and you exhale to the other side. Feel that nice stretch on the right side of your body. Pushing your right hip away, reaching up through those right fingers. 2 more breaths. Come back to center. Feet back together if you want, if they were apart. You're going to inhale both arms up. We're going to add a rotation, so just twist to one side. If the back of your chair gets in the way of your hand, just make an adjustment. So maybe your hand just comes down at the side, that's fine. Inhale to center and exhale as you rotate. Big deep breath to center. Big deep exhale as you twist. When you get over to your right side, let's hang out over there. So left hand on your right thigh, right hand behind you. If you have a back to your chair, maybe you're going to try to use that back to push you a little bit more into your twist. You can put your hand on the back of your ball to add a little bit more traction as well. You're inhaling as you extend up, sitting tall. You're going to exhale and twist a little bit more. You're going to slowly come back to center and just twist to the other side. So again, same things over here, nice and tall on an inhale. Exhale, try to twist always at your waist. You always inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Try to turn that head back behind you. Big deep breaths. One more breath, and on an exhale, just come on back to center. And we're going to take your feet wide. Slight bend in your knees. And you're just, actually, a bigger bend in your knees. You're going to kind of come to the edge of your ball or your chair. So you're just sitting on the edge. And we're just going to sit up nice and tall and just start to come forward. So feet are as wide as it takes to keep your elbows on your thighs. So maybe not as wide as you might have started with. You're going to push your hips back, extend out through the crown of your head, and just look down. So you're going to start to feel a little bit of a stretch at where your hamstrings and your glutes meet. And then you're going to start to come down just a little bit more. So maybe you walk your hands on your legs. Maybe if you have the flexibility, you're going to put your hands on the floor or those books or your block. Just still looking down. You can start to straighten your legs now. Maybe make them a little bit wider. And you're going to start to come down as far as you can today and as far as you can right now. Tipping at your hip, not at your waist. So really think about extending out and then down on your exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Start to relax your chin towards your chest without compromising your low back. Now you're going to feel that more in your hamstrings. Take 2 more breaths here. Should feel a little bit of blood coming into your head, giving you a little bit more energy. And then let's slowly start to come back up. So same progressions. When we come back up, I'd like you to put your elbows on your thighs, looking down, taking at least 2 breaths. And then slowly come all the way back up to seated. If you have that block or those books in front of you, just set them to the side. And we're going to come back to seated, nice and tall. You can hold on to the sides of whatever you're sitting on. And I want you to just pick up your left foot and then just set it right back down. Pick up your right foot and right back down. And then opposite and back down. So just up and down. So we just stretched your legs, mostly the back of your legs. Now we're going to start just warming up your quadricep muscles and those hip flexors. So the front sides of your legs by just doing little leg lifts. If you're on the ball, it's also warming up your core. If you're on that chair and you want to sit on the edge, that's going to take a little bit more effort. All right, so now what I'd like you to do, when your left leg gets up, I want you to just extend, flex, point, and lower. So right leg lifts, point it, flex, point, and lowered. And then just keep doing that, up, point, flex, point, and lower. So don't let yourself droop down. Keep a nice long spine. Push down into the hips. Extend out through this crown of your head. So one more time on each side. Make sure you finish on your right leg. And whenever you get done, so take your time, finish what you're doing. When you're ready, take your left leg and cross it over your right in a big wide cross. So just like you're hanging out with the guys, big wide cross. Hold on to your right foot with your right hand, or your left foot with your right hand, and just sit up nice and tall. So you can hold on to the ball or the chair with your left hand. If you would like to make this more difficult on that ball or on the chair really, you can start to raise your left arm up. And then if you want, everybody can start to sort of tip forward just enough where you feel a pull at your glutes and your outer thigh on that left side. So you can hold on to the ball or the chair or that leg. You could reach both arms up. So it's kind of a modified tree, chair, ankle, knee pose. One more breath. Inhale back to a seated position. Hands come down if they're up. Undo your leg, and a couple of shoulder rolls. All right, hands at your heart, and just notice how your left leg feels versus your right. And then let's try that right leg. So ground your left leg into the floor, cross your right leg over. Sit up nice and tall, hold on to whatever you need to hold on to. If you're balancing on your ball, you're finding your focal point that's in front of you and you're staring at it. So try to block away all outside thoughts and distractions. One arm can come up. Both arms can come up. You can start to fold forward. Everybody press into your left foot. Everybody press into your hips. Everybody extend straight up through your spine. And everybody breathe. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale and fold. You don't have to fold very far to feel a nice stretch in the outer thigh and hip. Two more breaths. And let's bring that hand down if it's up, both hands down. Sit up nice and tall. Undo your leg. And then let's take a big inhale up and a big exhale down. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. One more time. Inhale and exhale. All right, now we're going to do a little bit harder balance on the ball and a little bit of a balance on the chair. So we're going to take your right foot and put it right in the middle of where you're seated. So instead of at the side, you're putting your foot right in the middle. You're going to take your left leg and try to wrap it now around in a tighter cross. So you want to try at some point in your life, maybe, to get these toes wrapped around the back of your right calf. But this is all I got today. And then you can hang out right here in eagle. Or you can take your hands, bringing this hand, right hand out in the front. And so this one's going to be on the bottom. So left arm on top. Try to find your elbows together. And then try to get your palms together. Push your elbows away and up so that you're in full seated eagle pose. Stretching your shoulders, your back. Pressing your elbows up and away, and balancing. Pushing into your right foot, making yourself taller. Breathe. 2 more breaths. Slowly come out of that. Put both feet down on the mat a little bit wider, or both feet on the floor. Big shoulder rolls. And we will try the other side. So left foot in the middle. Cross your right leg over. Sit up nice and tall. So now your left arm is out. Right arm on the top, which I think I have this backwards, but it doesn't really matter. So right arm on the top, left arm on the bottom. Find your focal point. Stare at it. Elbows move away and up. And breathe. 4 full breaths wherever you can be. One more breath. Slowly undo those arms. Uncross your legs. Take your feet wide. Inhale your arms up. Exhale your arms down. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then let's do that folding forward again. So just come forward again onto your thighs. Couple breaths here. Lengthen. And then see if you can come down a little bit further. Maybe straightening your legs, maybe not. Chin to your chest, looking back through the chair legs or through towards your ball. So you can walk your feet out to make your legs straight, or roll the ball back if you're sitting on the ball to straighten your legs. One more breath. And then slowly start to walk back up. Same sequence. So halfway up, looking down. And then all the way back up to seated. Couple big shoulder rolls. Okay, we're gonna shift your weight over to so that you're sitting your right hip on the left side of your chair or the ball. So the left butt cheek is off the chair. And if you would rather just be standing, holding onto the chair or holding onto the ball, this is fine as well if you want to just stand up. But it's kind of fun to just kind of hang out on the ball. So your left leg is going to extend back. Your front knee is going to bend over your ankle. So you just have that ball hanging out on your right butt cheek. You're going to ground that back heel behind you. So I'll just position myself like this so you can see. So that back heel is down. The chair or the ball is just holding your weight on the right. You're going to bring your arms up towards the ceiling, looking up. So you have a little bit of weight on the ball, but you're pressing down into that back foot. So you feel a stretch in your calf. You're pushing your left hip forward, keeping that right knee over your toes. So you feel a really nice stretch here in your quadricep muscles in Warrior One. Looking up or looking forward. If this is too much for your arms, they can be out at the side. They could be on your thigh. They could be holding the ball or the chair, or they could be behind you. Take one more breath. We're going to go into Warrior Two from here. So all you're going to do is turn your upper body towards the left. Your arms go out to the side, palms down. You keep your legs just where they are, and you look over that right middle finger. Shoulders up, back, and down. Knee on the right, tracking right over your toes. Don't let it drift open so that you can see your whole foot. You should just be able to see a couple of your toes. Back arm straight back behind you. One more breath. We're going to go into triangle here. So straighten that front leg. So adjust yourself so that ball or the chair is still at your right cheek. You're just going to fold laterally and reach the left arm up and the right arm down. So legs and feet still in that same position. Now your front leg, the right one, is just straight. Looking up or down, opening up the front side of your body, breathing. One more breath. Slowly sit up or stand up. Sit back down. Relax on the ball. And let's just bring your arms out to the side, your feet wide, and just kind of rotate side to side. Find your right side and just twist and hang out there. And then hang out at the other side, left, twist. All right, bring your feet back together, bending your knees, or your knees are already bent, but bring your feet back together, hands at your side or at your heart, eyes shut. Just notice how you feel. And then let's start that same process on the other side. So 3 poses with your left leg bent out to the left, your left cheek on the edge of your chair or the edge of the ball, or not using the chair or the ball at all. You can just stand up and hold on. So the back heel is, back foot is at a 45-degree angle, back heel is pressing down. Front foot is pressing down, so all 4 points of each foot down into the ground. Upper body in the middle of your 2 feet. Turn your hip, right hip, forward so that it's moving towards that left foot. Arms go up if you need to adjust your feet, that back heel, to get that hip so that it's square over that front foot. That is so normal and perfectly fine. If your arms are up, your shoulders are not scrunched up to your ears. They're down away from your ears. And you are breathing. You have about 4 or 5 breaths here, remembering you can do anything with your arms that feels good for you. Deep breaths. One more big breath. Try to leave your legs where they are, maybe a little bit wider. You turn your upper body to the right. Your arms go out to the side, so your shoulders are stacked now over your hips, and your arms out to the side. Palms down, fingertips reaching away, shoulders down. Just look over those middle left fingers. Make sure you can see your big toe on the left foot. Breathe. One more breath. Oh, and then thank goodness, let's straighten that leg and find triangle. So scooch over, lay that hand down, right arm up, look forward or up, breathe. Take deep, deep breaths. Try to really feel that nice stretch in your torso on the right side, of course, but don't forget to lengthen the left side as well. One more breath. Let's come up. Let's sit back down. And let's just inhale your arms up. Exhale them down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale down. 1 more. And exhale down. All right, if you're using a chair, I want you to move it out in front of you, maybe at a diagonal. So if you're using a ball, I also want you to move it out, maybe at a diagonal. So everybody's chair or ball is going to go right about here. And while you're doing that, I'm going to drink some water. So you're standing with the chair, the seat in front of you, the back behind. So the chair is actually facing you. And all you're going to do is just put your hands on the seat or on the ball, bend at your hip, and do a little puppy dog pose. So it's just like down dog, but not quite. You're just in a half forward fold. So you can step your feet back on that if you're using the chair, so that you get a nice 90-degree angle, your hips the best you can over your ankles. You push your hips back, you stretch through your spine, your shoulders, try to widen your shoulder blades. Breathe. One more breath. All right, then we're going to go into plank. So if you're on the chair, or if you're going to use a chair, then your hands just go on the seat. You're going to step your legs back, and you're going to try to hold plank on the chair. If you're using the ball, it's going to be a lot more difficult, so you got a lot of options. Everybody can always go down to your knees. If you're on the ball, you can go onto your forearms and step your legs back and hold a plank here. If you are so inclined, you could actually put the ball back underneath your shins and roll out and be here instead. So you could be on your thighs or your shins and hold your plank here. So everybody find where you want to be, and we're going to hold for 1 minute. So you got 5 seconds to find where you want to be. 3, 2, 1, go. So core nice and tight. Shoulders away from your ears. You can be on your toes, on your knees, on your elbows, forearms, or palms. That's already 20 seconds. But your belly button, pull it up towards your spine. Make sure that your hips are in line with your shoulders and your heels. Don't let your hips rise up. Don't let them fall down. Keep your core nice and solid. 15 seconds. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So wherever you are, you're going to find a child's pose. So wherever you're at, your knees are down. Or if it bothers your knees, you're going to stand up in that puppy dog pose. You're going to push the ball away or have your hands on the seat and push your head down and breathe. One more breath. And one more standing pose. So you're going to come back to your feet. We're going to try Warrior 3 with the ball or with the chair, of course. So we're going to step onto your right foot. You're holding onto your chair, either the back of your chair or the seat of your chair or the ball. Stepping onto your right foot and bending that knee slightly, so letting it have a little play in the knee. Bending at your hip and taking that left leg and lifting it. So find a space, if you're using the chair, that when you bend forward at your hip, your hands reach out and your fingertips just lightly rest on the chair. When you try to lift that left leg, you try to be as parallel as you can with your upper body and your left thigh. So the ball makes it a little bit more challenging because the ball wants to move around, but it's a challenging pose all the way around. You got 3 more breaths wherever you're at. Let's try the other side. So, shift to your left foot, fingers on the ball or the chair. Step your feet back if you're using the chair so that you have that distance that you need. And then find Warrior 3 on your left foot. 5 breaths. One more breath. All right, put both feet down, push that ball away in that puppy dog pose. All right, what I'd like you to do is come to a laying down position. So if you want to use the ball or the chair, your heels are going to rest on that. If you don't want to use it, you do not have to at all. But if you want to rest your feet on the chair or the ball, go ahead and do that. But they can just rest right on the floor. That's perfectly fine. You're going to lay on down. I think you can still see me, I hope, but you can at least hear me. So your right foot is either going to be on the ground, the right leg on the chair, ground, or ball. Your left leg is going to just go to the ceiling. With a strap, towel, or just your hands on your calf, your hamstrings, or grab your feet if you can. And we're just going to stretch those hamstrings. So flex your foot also so you get a little calf stretch. Push your spine down into the mat. Breathe. And bring that knee bent towards your armpit and just kind of squeeze that in. So almost like you're cradling a baby, and that baby is your lower leg. So you're bringing your heel in towards the midline of your body, and your left knee is towards your armpit. And maybe you're rocking a little bit right and left until you find a good stretch, and then just breathe. And then slowly release that. Let's put the right leg up in the air. Flex the foot if you can. Strap or towel around your foot, or hold on to your toes or your calf or your hamstrings. Always remembering never to put pressure, direct pressure, right behind your knee joint. Relax your upper body. Push that spine into your mat. Push that heel up towards the ceiling. And slowly bend that right knee. Bring your kneecap towards your right armpit, your right foot towards the midline of your body. So like you're cradling that leg, little rocking side to side till you find a nice stretch, and then just pull that leg a little bit closer to you. One more breath. I just realized I totally didn't do the position I was going to do with your blocks or those books I told you to get, so sorry about that. Sometimes I forget what I'm going to do. All right, let's unwind that. All right, so if you are using the chair, I'd like you to just bring your knees in and give yourself a hug. If you are using the ball, I want you to put your right leg on top of the ball and your left leg under the ball. So you're kind of scissoring the ball with your knees bent. So your left knee is bent, your right knee is bent, and that ball's in between. If your knees are into your chest because you're using the chair, I want everybody's arms out to the side. And then I want everybody to just twist to your left and get a nice big twist at your left. So right side of your waist. You should feel a nice stretch of your glutes and outer thighs. On that right leg, you can extend your right leg straight if your knees were just bent to get a little deeper twist. And if it's too much with the ball, please just take the ball away. One more breath. Bring your knees back to center. Drop them to the right. If you're using the ball, you have to switch. And put your right foot down, the ball on your right thigh and underneath your left calf as you let the ball go over to the right. So everybody's twisting over to the right with their lower body. Looking to the left maybe if that feels good. Big deep breaths. Two more breaths. All right, let's slowly come back to center. And we're going to go into our final relaxation so you can decide where you want to be. You can rest your calves with your knees bent on the chair or the ball. As long as you don't feel like this is a lot of work to hold the ball or hold your legs on the chair, you can just lay down and bring your arms out to the side. You can go to the wall and put your legs up the wall. You can be wherever you'd like to be. And because it was fairly gentle, we'll just be here about 3 minutes. So please just find the most comfortable position you can find. Put a pillow or eye pillow or towel over your eyes. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Shut your eyes and just breathe. I will wake you up in just about 2.5 minutes. As quiet and as still as you can be. Just inhaling and exhaling. Start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And just slowly, gently waking yourself back up. You can stretch your body, your arms up over your head, your toes away from you, giving yourself that big full body stretch. You can rock your knees side to side, so bend your knees, rock them side to side. Maybe find a side that feels good for you. And then just come up to a seated position, either on the floor or on your chair or on the ball. And then we'll all just take a couple of breaths together. So big shoulder roll and then a big inhale up. Big ah as you exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Ah. 1 more breath. Inhale. Ah. Thank you so much for joining me this morning or whenever you're doing this video. Have a fabulous day. Namaste. Let me know what you're doing. Post any pictures of you doing the videos. I'd love to see what you guys look like because I miss everybody's faces and everybody's moans and groans and smiles. So let me know what you're doing today. Let me know what you're doing this weekend. See you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you. Bye-bye.